And soon the Truman Doctrine was challenged in Berlin, the old capital of Germany. In 1945, Germany had been divided into 4 zones, controlled by Britain, America, Russia, and France. But Berlin had also been divided into 4. The Americans and British and French all held parts of the city. Now, as you can see, Berlin was in the Russian zone of Germany, an island in the middle of communist territory, an island of Western influence behind the Iron Curtain. So in July 1948, Stalin tried to force out the Westerners by blockading the city. The Russians blocked the roads into the city, and they blocked the railways. They stopped the barges on the canals, they cut off electricity. They thought they could starve out the West Berliners and force them to accept communist rule. Life got very tough in West Berlin. Fuel was short, food was short, and the Russians tried to tempt the West Berliners by putting plenty of food on display in their part of the city. But they hadn't taken into account the air routes into Berlin. The British and the Americans were determined not to let the Russians get their way, so they flew in supplies in a vast airlift. Only 4 years before, they had bombed Berlin to rubble. Now they brought grain, meat, vegetables, milk, everything the people needed to keep going. At the height of the airlift, they were bringing in over 12,000 tons of supplies every day. When winter came on, they even brought in coal by air. It was clear that the British and Americans were determined to stay in Berlin, and as the West Berliners helped to build extra runways to take the aircraft, it was clear that they too didn't want to fall under communist rule. After 10 months, the Russians realized that they couldn't force the West out, and so they ended the blockade. The barriers were lifted, and life went on as before.